40% podcast. I'm 40% podcast. You know I'm 40% podcast, baby. You know I'm 40% podcast. You know I'm 40% podcast, baby. I'm only 40%. Go. 40% podcast. I'm 40% podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jinkx Monsoon, and welcome to a brand new episode of I'm 40% Podcast. The podcast that I have to remember comes with a video element, so I have to remember to stop looking off into the distance like I'm the only one here. Anyway, with me as always is my smelly little angel. With me as always is my smelly little angel. That boy o' mine. I raised him from infancy, found him in a bush. Now he's my best friend and son. It's Nick Sahoyah.
I know I was the one who asked for the rebranding of the little shit, but I just feel like everything that has come instead of the little shit is so much worse. So I don't know if it's you gotta get your bad ideas out or if they're all gonna be this bad.
With me, as always, the Antichrist.
There we go.
Today is a very special day because our guest is an old friend. And now when I say old friend, he's the same age as us. But
yeah, watch it.
I've known this person half of my entire life, one of my longest enduring friendships. Nick also knows him,
Hey.
you know. Yeah. But it's extra special because it is their birthday. Skye is a Leo. Skye is very attractive. Skye is covered in tattoos. And Skye is also a music maker in Portland, Oregon. Portland,
We're rebranding Oregon now.
No. Yes, our guest today is Skye, who is also known as DJ Fruit Boy. Just Fruit Boy, but he's a DJ.
That's the DJ persona for clarification.
Yeah. He's a Fruit Boy DJ, and he also creates music under the moniker So Lately. He also lived in my attic for a while. It's Skye, everyone.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for having me. This is crazy. I feel like I just jumped through the parabox right now. This is surreal.
The parabox, and you know things.
Yes.
Just one. That was my one reference. That's all I got.
So, Skye, it's your birthday. You're a Leo. I guess my first question is, why do you think you're better than everyone else?
I mean, it's kind of obvious. I'm not.
Fun fact for the listeners and for Jinkx/Nick superfans. In whenever we are asked about our history, we tell a story of meeting at a Dresden Dolls concert in Seattle and going to Dick's afterwards. And that was the same night that I met Skye. Skye was there.
It was.
Skye was also a little wind-up boy, and we all got burgers and fries.
Yeah, Cosmo and I were support that night. That was fun.
Wind up boy, as in WIND. We were all wind up dolls. That was our shtick. We weren't drunk on wine. I don't know why my brain went there. Skye was a.
I think whenever we talk about your past, you're like,
I was quite the lush.
You're double checking
then.
there was no booze involved.
Wait, back then.
At 17?
Yeah. First of all, you're a lush now. Second of all,
I am 6 months sober.
What? I didn't even know. Okay.
It was
I take it all
forcibly
back.
medically.
I suck it all back into my mouth.
This
What
is
else?
already all too personal to go out into the world. every
is
second of
usable.
it.
Who knows if it'll stick? So
Okay, wait a sec. Oh, you'll also know Skye as DJ KLMNOP in the sketch
Oh, yeah, that's a
Something Has
throwback.
Snapped Within Her, written and directed by Liam Krug. That was when Skye was sheltering with us during the pandemic. So anyone in the house was also subject to being a part of my
oh yeah.
digital content we were creating to scrape by in the dust bowl of the drag age.
Skye
We
was
gotta-
also in the Jinxalicious video. Skye's,
Oh my
Skye's
God.
popping up everywhere. In
Skye
That is
our
a
checkered
call
past.
back.
Skye was also in an unreleased video I made in Helena's house.
It's a porn.
No, it was just
We're not talking
bored.
about that one.
We were bored one night and we just made a video. This was this was before I even had a YouTube account, so we made it on a digital
Oh,
camera.
it was like really old school camera. It was ridiculous.
Or we did this instead of drinking and partying because I was such a straight edge kid back then. And
yeah.
so we all dressed up in Helena's like costume clothes and filmed a movie about a dysfunctional family in Helena's McMansion back in the day. And then Helena's grandma in the middle of us like watching.
No one knows who that is,
film.
Reach.
Meme.
The point is we've been through a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't need to keep telling that story.
Skye,
Anyway.
It's a good one though.
Skye, do
Yeah,
you like
yes.
Futurama?
It's okay.
Oh yeah, this is a Futurama podcast.
I only obsessively watch it. At least I used to. I finally had burnt out, and then I had to take a long break. But now I'm back and I'm rewatching it again. Like the new
Cool.
season has sparked it in me.
I think you're our first like hardcore fan who is coming in and watching the new episodes with us for the
That's
first time.
crazy.
Well, just, sometimes we have fans on and sometimes we have people who haven't watched the show much. They're both valid. Please don't invalidate
yeah.
them, Skye. Be nice to
I
Ross.
would never.
Roz,
but
Nicole
I guess
Byer,
Nicole
I guess
Byer
my
had never
point-
watched it before.
I don't think she had. But
Yeah.
my question for you is, as a fan of the show, are you enjoying this new season? How does it stack up for you?
Oh my God, I am. I was a little nervous because, as we know, it's been rebooted a couple times now. And sometimes it was like, and like the movie series or like the extended episode ones that they did were so.
Agreed.
But this season, it is making me laugh a lot. Especially this episode we're about to review. I was like, I couldn't stop. I was
This
like
was a
falling off the
strong
couch.
one. I thought this was good.
It was a strong one. It was not what I was expecting from the title. Parasites Regained.
Yeah, I got so excited when I saw the title.
And I was expecting something completely different. I'm so happy with what we got instead. The episode goes on so many turns, but I think more than anything, I was just happy with the ham-fisted Dune references.
Doong.
We are jumping ahead. This is not how we do
I-
things on
no,
this podcast.
are
I'm gonna
you
start.
kidding?
I'm gonna
It's
start
always how we
I'm gonna
do
start
things.
the show. We're gonna
Yeah,
recap
when is the
it
show
bit by
ever
bit.
organized?
We're gonna start the show now.
We haven't started the show yet.
I think none of that's useful. So
Do we
this
have
is
any
where it starts.
news?
No, there's
And
every
we're
fucking
recording
episode. Every
now.
fucking episode. I tell you, if I have a news story, I'm gonna come to you and tell you that we have the news.
Well,
and
I
you
have
always
news.
are surprised.
I have news.
Then you
for
can
the
ask.
listeners.
Then you can use your words and say, "Hit the news button."
Hit the
and you
news
can say,
button.
"Please, maybe."
Hit the news button, please.
Good news, everyone!
Okay, so it actually is good news. This is the beauty of social media. I say a lot of things that are, the shitty aspects of social media. I bring that up a lot, but here's one of the good things. Information travels so fast, people get pissed off really quick these days. So when Zoom announced their Black Mirror-esque new terms and agreement, many people took to the internet to be like, hey, what the fuck? And then Zoom now said, never mind. So in a rare double whammy news cycle, Zoom has decided not to be pieces of shit.
Wow.
And we're still using Zoom. So
Yes,
if you
and
were
I will
even
say-
mildly interested in that saga, it's over already.
Zoom doing the bare minimum.
I will say I was very relieved because last night I sat down to figure out how to do all of the same shit that we do on Discord, and I was very confused. And if we have to switch to Discord someday for ethical reasons, we will. But I was like looking up a YouTube tutorial on how to do it, and then I was like, I wonder if this
No.
got figured out already. So I Googled the news, and thank God I did.
I
Anyhow.
wonder if they caved already.
Oh
Thank
my God.
God.
Okay, wait. I do need to talk about the soundboard. Can we talk about the soundboard? Are you done with your news?
I also wanted to say,
Oh my God.
Baba Booey.
Okay, so the soundboard suggestions, we're going to check in on this segment real quick. So many, okay, so what happened is I asked for,
You asked for more participation from the
Yeah.
audience, and then they spammed the shit out of you.
they said, the thing is, I sometimes forget that Jinkx is very famous. And if I say DM me, like a lot of people will. And I had a shocking
no.
number of submissions. So here's how I'm handling it.
How many nudes?
I have not gotten nudes on Instagram in a while, and I'm not currently soliciting them. But maybe in the future I'll say
you're
send nudes again.
married. Oh,
I
because
can get nudes if I'm married.
I know, but you slowed down a little bit because you're married.
Okay, so the point is, I went through. I haven't even gotten through all of them yet. I didn't have time to write individual replies, but I have I've given a little heart tap to everyone just so you know that I saw it. If your soundboard is not on the show, it's because I was like, thank you for the suggestion. I cannot use that. But here's the new ones. James
right.
Taylor, along with a couple other people. Also, Vince is a big Hedonism Bot fan. But James Taylor's a huge
Yes.
Hedonism Bot fan and suggested this.
No, my.
I think it's pretty fun.
I love.
Adjective Otter suggested oh, wait. I don't think I added this one yet. Okay, Adjective Otter, you're going to get another shout out next week because I didn't put it in yet. And then one other thing is...
Okay, Gandalf.
Some of the suggestions are good, but I just cannot access the sound. Someone suggested Amy saying stop asking after, and this was Jamie, suggested stop asking. That's what Amy says after Professor asks her about the suppository for I really want that one, but I'm not a very good hacker. I can only hack videos from YouTube. So if the clip doesn't exist on YouTube, I can't get the audio very easily. The hackers at
Nick
Hulu
can
are
only-
much better at hacking than me.
Nick
so.
can only capture free range roaming video clips, domestic video clips that stay
Skye-
indoors.
Skye, are
I
you
can
a good
probably-
hacker?
I was
Can you
gonna say I
get
could
me?
probably source those for you.
Can you get me Hulu audio? Can you get me the good stuff?
I think I could figure it out.
You look like
Yeah.
a hacker.
Sky,
You look like you're in the Matrix.
as a music
Oh, hell
person,
yeah.
when are you going to do a dubstep remix of the I'm 40% podcast?
So sorry, I
theme
just threw up a
song.
little bit.
A collab with Michael. That would be great.
Do the trap remix of our
There we
theme
go.
song.
I'll do the trap
please.
remix.
Trap is-
I'll do a house remix, but
You
I won't
said
do any
dubstep,
dub
which is
wub.
like 10 years old, and then you said trap, which is like 8 years
Bass
old. You're saying the
house.
oldest things.
Do a zoot suit swing remix.
Okay, that sounds like something Michael would already do.
Yeah, anyway, remix our theme song. Make it a
Hell
thing.
yeah.
Okay. On
Oh, I hit the
to
bump
the
mic.
episode.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
forgot.
I bumped the mic. I hope no one heard. Parasites Regained. Original air date August 14th, 2023.
No cold open.
It was Monday. There was no cold open, but these spooky sounds. They keep playing these spooky sounds.
Yeah.
Do you notice the spooky sounds?
Yeah,
Yes,
oh
I
yeah. I was
noticed
wondering
them.
what was different about that. Okay.
There's something spooky happening.
Something's
And
going
then we
on.
go into the Chiron, which says find the hidden story. And I don't know if that's a
Yes.
reference to something or if it's telling us that these sounds mean something.
It could, okay.
So I think it might be both.
Yeah, it could be
can't tell.
twofold because it could be a joke about it being, a Dune spoof, the episode. It could be a joke about, it could be a reference to the spooky sounds. It could be both of those things for, different people to get different things from the Chiron. I don't know. For its vagueness, I want to give it 3 out of 5 Chirons, but for
That's
its
my exact instinct.
But for its mystery, I want to give it 4.5 out of 5.
You cannot do 0.5s. God damn it. No 0.5s.
halves.
Is it a 4 or a 5? Pick.
4.
Thank you.
0.5.
Skye, 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3, but if it pays off in an interesting way, I reserve the right to come back and modify. Give it a 5.
No, I reserve the right to shame you publicly for not
Yeah.
sticking
I'll
to
go
your
with
conviction.
An approximately 4.
That's fine, because you're at least rounding, That's all I ask. There's no decimals. We go into the episode.
No, just a symbol that's hard to find on the keypad. An approximate
we go into the
sign?
episode. We go into the episode. The last episode we were asking, Jinkx and I, we were like, where the fuck is Nibbler? And right away, we opened with Nibbler.
It was like
Nibbler's-
they heard us.
They did, yes.
It's almost like we are controlling what happens on Futurama now. This
Do you think
podcast,
that's the hidden story? Is that we're controlling it
they're
with our
getting
minds?
all their ideas from this podcast.
So we go to the dog park. And
Immediately
I was a
loved
little
it.
shocked. I was a little shocked by this joke where
Nibbler murders
Nibbler
a human.
eats a dog. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
just-
then murders the human who was walking the dog, and Leela just
Completely
kind of politely.
normal.
Yeah.
Helena. Leela is an accessory to murder.
Leela is very unhinged this season,
It's so,
and I'm kind
so
of enjoying
casual
it.
about it.
Leela is an accessory to murder. In fact, she's appreciative of Nibbler.
Well, she's like, thank God I don't
Murdering.
have to worry about like this man
lawsuit.
suing us.
Yes, obvious. And I know, now I know, in the past, the professor's murdered many, many people, but it's always accidental. Leela has, killed in self-defense. She's killed protecting her friends. She's killed accidentally. But I don't know that she's ever just sat there and watched someone be murdered and then go like, thanks, Nibbler, for murdering that person. I know I'm making
I
it
kept
really
thinking
dark for this
I kept
throwaway
thinking
joke.
Nibbler was gonna like spit him up at some point.
Yeah, and
and
instead,
he does.
instead they
But-
double down on the murder.
But he's dead.
Yeah,
And
it's
they
just his
also, when she
hat
came
on a
back
hairball.
when she came back, it sounded like everyone was totally cool with it. Like Fry was like, I don't understand why you feed Nibbler outside and he shits inside instead of the reverse. So it's like they're all aware of it.
Well, they don't know that she
interesting.
murdered a lawyer. They just
Maybe they know it's a lawyer and that's why they're okay with it. Hey, am I right?
Listen. All I can kind of like justify in my mind the mental gymnastics to make myself okay with this moment
Constant.
in this cartoon, in this absurdist cartoon. The mental gymnastics is Nibbler is an animal and a very intelligent being from deep oldest space. Like, she can't if she wanted to stop him, could she? Would she
No.
be eaten? Like, Nibbler kind of has the power in a lot of their situations, even though he assumes the role of the pet. There's a part of me that's like,
It's Nibbler's world. We're just living in it.
yeah, there's a part of me that's like, can she really, like, Nibbler's doing his thing. He decided to eat that lawyer. I don't know. That's the
Which is kinda gonna
mental
fight back.
gymnastics trying to make myself maintain Leela's character.
I'm going to allow this.
Thank you.
So Nibbler goes and poops in the litter box, and it's a big old bang. And we talk about how the litter in the litter box is from Nibbler's homeworld, and we see this sort of like orange dust coming off of it.
Love this.
So it's not only we don't know yet that it's going to be a Dune spoof, but
Well, now we do because
there's
you
a little
spoiled it.
there's a little hint.
Shut up. We don't know yet that okay, anyway. But it's the litter from Nibbler's homeworld. That's also like a vampire reference.
Ancestral pooping grounds. I
Ancestral
could not.
Yeah, but
Well, Skye, you have a lot of dogs, so
I
was this all very
very-
relatable for you?
I connected very deeply to this whole pet-centric episode.
Yeah. Skye, tell us a little bit about your... Nick referred to them as a lot of dogs.
We don't have
So,
time to talk
tell-
about Skye's
tell
dogs.
us-
I was
no,
just being
tell us a
relatable.
li-
I was just being
Tell us a
relatable.
little... It's Skye's
just
birthday.
making Skye
Tell us
relatable.
a little bit about your 2 dogs.
My own 2 dogs. Well, I have a lab pity mix and I have a Pomchi. And I have a Pomchi that is blind and deaf and psychotic. He
Tight.
terrorizes us on a constant basis. Kind of has some Nibbler-esque qualities sometimes, honestly.
Oh. Can I say, if we're doing pet corner now,
Nobody wants to hear about Turtle. I'm just kidding. I actually
No,
do.
Sergio and I have a cat named Guillermo. But when Sergio adopted Guillermo before we were a couple,
Wait, Guillermo? Guillermo?
Guillermo is the cat. He's a Maine Coon.
Guillermo.
And his name when Sergio adopted the cat was Nibbler. So I
No
almost had a
way.
cat named Nibbler.
Why would you
Guillermo-
change it?
I mean, if you meet Guillermo, you'll see. He's very much a Guillermo.
You've never met such a Guillermo. Okay, back to the episode.
Speaking of changing the subject, I don't even know who said that, but it made me laugh. So I'm gonna try and get that for the soundboard, but it's on Hulu. I don't know how. Hackers, get at me. No, actually, no one DM me. No one DM me. Ever.
Yeah, stop DMing Nick.
So Leela suggests they go see the new alien language movie, and no one wants to see it. But Nibbler says that he will go because he's very
Fry
smart.
has a great line that actually, what's so
it's
funny.
too real right now. Yeah.
I was watching this with my husband, and I do believe when Fry said the line, I don't like movies with subtitles.
I don't want to have to look up from my phone.
Yeah. I don't like movies you have to read because I don't want to look up from my phone. And Michael, I think, looked up from his phone to laugh at that joke. I'm not sure. I could be conflating. I could just
I
be
immediately
storytelling,
shot
but-
like dagger eyes at Lake when we were watching Futurama because he does that every day.
I've had to practice.
I'm guilty of it too, but
Well, there are shows I put on
If
specifically
you're
to
at
put
home,
on
it's
background
fine.
noise.
If you're at home, it's fine. What I can't deal with
In the
is people are
theater?
taking these phones out at the movie theater, and I was watching Everything at Stake in LA, and the lady in front of me was checking her emails, and that is how I found out that Wayne Brady came out as pansexual, was during Everything at Stake, because she was texting her friend about it.
so it
And I
wasn't
was
a complete
"Ma'am,
waste
I
of
wrote
time.
this
Wait a
fucking
second.
show. Put your phone away. I didn't
Wait
say
a
that, but I
second.
wanted to.
Okay, I understand if someone's checking the time quickly. I understand
Yes.
if someone's checking
Opening multiple
their-
apps.
To make sure they have no
going
text
through
from the
different
babysitter.
apps.
Like a
I don't
text-
know.
Which
Yeah,
one
yeah,
is
yeah.
most interesting to her? It was so crazy.
I can abide a momentary, like as the person on stage who sees all of it, by the way, people think I don't know what people are thinking because your face lights up in a darkened room. So if you get on your phone, I see only you, really.
And you look like a psycho killer. Like, the
And-
lighting
yeah,
is not
'cause it's lighting
flattering.
you from
So
below.
anyone who thinks
Really
that
unflattering.
the performer can't see you checking your phone, you don't understand how much spillover of light there is from the from the stage, and then your face lights up when you're sitting there. I had a person on
Also
tour.
in the movies, the people in the movies, they can see you when you look at your phone.
I
They
had-
get very
Everyone
mad.
in the film.
Yeah.
I had a person
Nicole
on
Kidman's
tour.
like, you better not.
I had a person
Don't
in
do
the
it.
audience while I was on tour who was looking at their phone so much during the show. But I'm trying to practice not, jumping down an audience member's throat when they
Not
have
being a
bad
Patti
theater
LuPone.
etiquette,
I almost
Because-
murdered an entire family the last time I was at a theater. It was awful.
I know people enjoy when I eviscerate someone, but I'm trying to be more open-minded that there might be emergencies and stuff. But this person was just on their phone through most of the show. But I was like, let it go. The show can't be derailed by this. Just let it go. Towards the end of the show, he full on accepted a phone call. This person. He accepted a phone call.
What?
And the people next to him were just irate. They had been like biting their tongue the whole show. I'm in the middle of the ballad, the one sincere moment of the show. I'm singing the ballad, staring this man down. I stop singing the words to the song and just start singing. So don't take your call in the middle of my show. You're on your phone and it's really fucking rude now. You better put your phone away. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. And he's like, I keep singing the melody of the song. Put your fucking phone away.
Which kind of goes with the show, to be honest.
And the guy is like not getting it. I realized then that he's just blackout drunk, presumably. And he was asked by his friends to get up and leave, but it was like it was blowing my mind.
That's monstrous.
Isn't that great when the friends get on your side? They're like, we're sorry about him. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, back to the episode. It just
Oh, yeah,
started.
what are we even
We're at the
reviewing here?
beginning of the episode. We've been doing this for 40
Second
minutes.
45 of the episode.
It's like a 3-hour event now.
Fry doesn't want to go to the movies, so Nibbler says, I'll go. And Leela says, Nibbler,
I love
you
this
can
Arrival
talk.
reference, by the way, with the alien language movie.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes. And they go, well,
Nibbler, you can talk? You
Yeah.
always forget that I can talk.
Nibbler, you
Nibbler,
can talk.
really good stuff. She's out of control this season. They go see Quizblorg, but then there was like a little... There was already a movie called Quizblorg. This one had a little symbol after it. I think it was like a math joke or a number joke that I didn't get. It was like a sequel to Quizblorg. And it's like a German expressionist kind of alien movie. That's the vibe I was getting. Then they go have a tea party. They talk about the movie. They do a 3D crossword puzzle together. Nibbler is very smart. And they're best friends.
And the place where they're having their like tea and lunch talking about the significance of their friendship.
It was from the old episode, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Where Leela and Fry were having a
Parasites
conversation.
Yeah,
Yes,
from
it was the
Parasites
same
Lost,
restaurant,
yeah.
same setup, same
It's a
vignette.
whole callback to it.
It's a whole
Yeah, it was
callback
cool.
to
I
it.
missed it.
To win.
Interesting if true.
It is true.
It is
But-
true.
And
Well,
so,
then it's interesting. I didn't say it wasn't.
so at this point, I'm realizing that Nibbler is probably going to be the one with the parasites because of the framing device there. But what I love is Nibbler gets the parasites, but the parasites for Nibbler are a very, very different circumstance. The only thing... Okay, well, I'm jumping
We'll get
ahead.
into it.
Take-
So, Nibbler barfs up the yell hat and passes out, and Leela thinks something might be wrong. So she takes him to the vet, and the vet says he has worms. And Leela says, worms, that's all? And he says, no, that's not all. You never let me finish. And I really like
so
that.
good.
That joke went on well and then ended perfectly. We're finished here. Okay, well, thank you. I wasn't finished!
The fact that he just kept going with it is so good.
And I like that they're doing different things with this vet because, like, we saw with the whale biologist, and I like this too. The whale biologist was doing the exact same bit. This vet kind of does a different bit every time we see him. So I like this one. This one was funny.
Yeah. It's got dimensions.
Yeah. But the worms are attacking Nibbler's brain, and they are making him stupid instead of smart.
Yeah,
which is what happened in the previous worm episode. I've realized
I was surprised
just
it didn't
now
make
that
him
we have not yet
debilitating.
covered the worm episode, so some of our listeners might not know what the worm episode is.
Well, my only big problem is, and by the end of the episode, they did reference the worms from the first
Parasites Lost.
episode, Parasite Lost, yes. They did by the end of the episode. But it was kind of infuriating that they didn't reference it right away when, like, they said,
it.
"Oh no!" It's like
I was like, "Are they gonna do it? Are they not? Did they name it this?"
For me, it's logic of the characters. Y'all went inside Fry to hunt down worms.
Well, they technically didn't. They sent in little robots.
Yes, but you're telling me that Amy didn't say, wasn't inclined to at one point say, hey, this is just like the time we did this in Fry. You're telling me Fry...
They don't remember the time dilation.
Yes, something happened. But they
remember
do
some
get
stuff
to it about
they're the same
halfway
age.
through the
It's
episode.
all weird.
I know that they do it by the end of the episode, but I'm just saying logic tells me I get the time dilation, but that's gonna really chuff my hide after
a wizard
while.
did it. A wizard did
jog
it.
anyone's memories.
It's
yeah.
chuffing my hide.
Don't move the
Okay,
mic.
but-
You're gonna unplug it again.
My hide is chuffed.
So
Fully chuffed.
the cure to the worms is ivermectin, which really made me laugh. For those who don't remember,
it's never gonna die.
Ivermectin is the horse dewormer that people like Joe Rogan and Donald Trump were pitching as a treatment
Cure for COVID.
For seemingly no reason.
No
and
reason.
It was
so
killing
stupid.
people. So it's very funny now that the good medicine is the ivermectin. This is, I guess, the proper time to use it is when you have worms.
So good.
I hate Donald Trump.
Hot take.
Go on.
Okay. So
That was super profound. Thank you.
yes. Leela can't get Nibbler to eat the pill. Fry says his mom used to hide his pills in something yummy, like paste.
That's stupid.
That's sad and dumb is the quote. You got to write these things down,
sad
Mom.
and dumb. Now listen.
Leela suggests no, we've got to power. We need to get into the litter box.
I was just
Fine
gonna say.
cheese.
I like the cheese trope.
Sure.
Because it becomes a signal for us
For how-
later. When first he says, perhaps a Gouda or a nice...
Or a brie. And then later he's like, I'll have a slice of American cheese in this individual wrapper.
In a plastic
Singles.
wrap, yeah.
Kraft singles
And that
are
is,
delicious.
they're putting the pills in the cheese. He doesn't want
It's so
manchego.
good.
He wants the cheddar. So, and that's where we're at. Everyone is sad that Nibbler is becoming dumb.
Except for Fry. He's happy to have a playmate.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
But Bender is crying and he has little windshield wipers.
It was so cute.
The professor walks in and he says, "Sad news, everyone. Oh, good, you're already crying." And we learn that the worms have infested Nibbler's litter box. So even though the dewormer is working, every time he uses the litter box, he gets reinfected by the worms.
And they said throw out the litter, but
We
you
can't.
can't because
It's
he'll
so
die.
important.
Why? Oh, here's my question. I guess who's been to Nibbler's homeworld? Leela and Fry,
Leela.
but they don't know the way.
Mhm.
Both
No.
Leela and Fry have been there, right? Fry's
Yeah,
been
why
there
can't they go
for
get New
I think they were both
sand.
there.
I just, yeah. Oh, and probably Nibbler's too dumb to pilot it. But come on, like, go get new sand. We're going to shrink down and fight some worms.
It's at the edge
as our
of the
first-
universe,
Yeah.
bro. It's at the edge of the universe. Do your research.
Do your dramaturgy before you come in talking that smack.
And this I'm almost certain was a callback to the fact that I couldn't remember the specific joke, but I believe in the previous episode or a previous episode, the professor established that he could not shrink anything. He could only make things bigger.
This is so funny because he makes a whole thing about like we would need really tiny atoms and those are really expensive.
Yes,
And
it's
then-
a callback to that joke exactly. Yeah. So
And
that's
then
why
this
they had to
episode,
use
he's
little
like,
robots
pew, pew.
last time. And then
I also
the
love-
professor says, "Do you remember my enlarging ray?" And everyone goes, "No."
No.
No.
No. Well, I've been able to modify it to
He
turn
just
it
flips
into a
the lens.
shrinking
So
ray.
easily.
I just flip the lens. Here.
That was an option the whole
And
time.
it becomes a normal ray or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he, like,
and then he has to change one more setting to actually make it a shrink ray. But he puts them in. He puts them in a
It's
toy
so
tank
stupid.
that he made big, and
and then they shrink it down.
and then they shrink it back down.
But what I
But
love,
There's a funny gag where he's shrinking everything around the office.
Well, it's
It's
because
so good.
the toy tank came with
Like
a
a Hot
ramp.
Wheels track.
So he decided they were gonna take the ramp into Nibbler's litter box, but he decided to push them down the ramp before he shrank the tank, and so he's trying to shoot them on the go. That's why things around the office are now being shrunk, including
Hermes Manwich.
His man
His
His poor man
man
witch.
But luckily, okay, now listen.
There's a really great line when he puts them in the tank.
Go on.
Everybody enjoy the carnage.
Now, okay, I love Futurama. I laugh out loud a little bit, though. You know, like, I find the writing hilarious. There's lots of things I find funny. But, you know, I only laugh out loud when something's really good or really stupid. And sometimes it's both. Now,
Usually.
as they're going down the ramp and the professor's trying to shrink them, he finally shrinks them just in time, and then they go through a jump, and a ring of fire lights up because the professor lights it, and when they go through, he goes, "Yes!" Like
I laughed
he's
so
adding-
hard during that.
Michael and I lost our
He's adding
shit
Carol for no
laughing.
reason.
It was like the first time I fell off the couch. I was like, I
There was
cannot.
no reason to do that.
So pointless. I loved
And then
it.
he goes, "Yes!"
It works. They land
We're
in the litter
finally
box,
in. Yay!
and it looks like a desert with a big purple sky.
But
Because
you
we
have to
made it.
stay in the tank. The tank is the only thing that's going to protect you from the harsh desert conditions. Immediately, the tank's gone.
Gets out of the tank. Yeah.
And they inhale. Well, Zoidberg inhales some of the orange, sparkly dust that we saw before,
And
he has
bedazzles his lungs.
Yeah.
It's Jankum, right? I mean, that's what we're getting at
Jankum.
here. I mean, the dust is the spice. We
It's
get
the
that.
spice.
Yes.
But
the
like, if
spice.
we actually think logically, if it's a psychedelic drug made from excrement, then it's jankum, right?
Do you think
But is
Spice
he-
the drag queen has seen Dune? It's really hard for me to
Oh
imagine
my
her
God.
watching the whole thing.
It was
But if
so
she did,
long.
she would see that her name is in it quite a bit.
The spice.
Suddenly.
Anyway, Sugar Spice, come on the show. The Zoidberg trips out. We
Has a little
are
DMT
officially in the
trip.
Dune parody at this point, and some dung beetles roll up, and they spit on Leela, which is a sign of respect in the desert. They don't
It was
realize
so
it.
good.
Because Fry is peeing, and the dung beetle says, "Thank you for your gift of moisture."
Thank God for Fry peeing.
Seriously, they would have been screwed.
Saves the day. And we get this great joke that they're not dung beetles. It's pronounced doong beetles. And the G is almost silent.
The G is almost silent.
I just want to shout out, we've had some great new characters so far this season. I love the saloon lady, Delilah. And this beetle lady was cracking my shit up. She was very
Ego
good.
Wodum is so funny.
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
recognized her voice, but it took me about halfway through the episode, and I just like screamed it out. I was like, "Oh my god!"
She was so funny. All of her lines were great. Her delivery was great. It was really good.
Might I say, we don't get many characters like her. You know, like in the past seasons, there's not a lot of like diverse representation in the characters. Sure. You know, it's a small voice acting talent pool, probably because Futurama has always had a little bit less of a budget. When you think of how many times it's been rebooted, it's probably like, we're bringing it back with a caveat, you know? So,
less money this time.
And that's probably why John DiMaggio held out for the whole cast to get more money this time.
John DiMaggio was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Striking before the striking was the cool thing to do.
This is just me pontificating, of course. But
that's what this podcast is, ultimately.
I like to see that in this new era of Futurama, they are, you know, Delilah is very much a character that we've seen before, and it's Tress MacNeille, and it's familiar to us. This character, voice acting performance, the way it was written, the character itself, very different from a usual cameo or stock character on Futurama, and I love to see it.
Yeah.
The Doong Beetles take the crew to their like little headquarters, and by the way, we should say the crew it's just Zoidberg, Bender, Fry, Leela, and they are taken to the Doong Beetle headquarters. And they see a map that says all of the worms are congregating around this big object. This object that we know, of course, is Bender's poop.
The map of the universe.
The whole universe.
Nibbler's poop. Okay, yeah, the map to me doesn't make a lot of sense because things would be ever changing. Does the map change? Does the map just show you?
Wizard.
Also, the poop wouldn't be there always because they clean the poop out.
Yeah. No, they made a whole joke earlier where they're like, she never cleans it.
I get that, but then it should be overrun with poop because he poops more than only once.
And they've also showed her bringing it to the lava pit in the basement to dispose of it in the past. So,
but she's little now. She can't do that right now.
Wizard did it. For the interest of time, Wizard did it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The lead beetle lady, I don't have a name for her. She goes into the glitter chamber.
She's the high priestess.
She's basically the shaman.
Oh, she's a shaman.
Yeah,
the shaman.
Yeah,
that's
shaman.
Right.
The shaman lady, she goes into the glitter chamber, and that's what they're calling the spice. They're calling it glitter, the orange shiny stuff. And she exposits that only she can go in there. Like, you have to be really trained to go into the glitter chamber,
or you'll lose your mind.
Yeah, and it shows her all possible realities. And when she comes out of the chamber, she just is eating frosting, and she's like, "Okay, you guys can go this like complicated
route." And it's called
route.
Betty
Cockroach. You can go this super complicated route where you like take a left at this dude, and then you'll see it. Or she calls them mounds.
There'll be a mound, and then another mound.
Take a
but
guide,
then she's like,
because if you take a wrong turn, it means certain death. You'll be able to take our second best guide, and this is a recurring joke that I really love. Do most of what he said.
I wrote that down. I was like, do most of what he says.
Yeah. Most of what he says, very funny. And they take like the guide leads them through the desert, and there's gross creatures. There's a veiny pus fungus
The
There's
skinless
the hairless,
or the hairless
skin
or
pigeon.
featherless
The
pigeon?
skin-
The skin pigeon.
skin
That's what it's
sand
called.
pigeon. It's something like
It
that.
was giving me like San Francisco vibes. I was getting
Oh
thrown
my
back.
Too
And
real.
then
Those
and then
pigeons
there
are
was
fucked up.
They're
a mole
crazy.
rat
They
thing
can't even fly
that
anymore.
we've already encountered. That bit
Oh yeah, the little
Fry.
mole rat thing, and then we also see these little tiny parasites that are living on the fungus that look like little crabs, and Zoidberg likes them.
Little tiny mates.
Yeah, the mites. So,
They come to a point where what they
They're
need to
almost to
do
the poop.
is distract the worm away so they can do something.
yeah.
And
so the guide
what-
is going to use a pounder, which is like a little machine that
What I love though is he says,
pounds the
well,
dirt.
everyone who's tried this before has died, so let's do the exact same thing they did.
Oh, so good.
Bilgar is the guide's name. Bilgar
Oh, yes.
just stands there near the pounder, and the crew runs off, and the sandworm eats Bilgar. All right,
Just like the person before him, the guide
Yep.
before him.
I think that's exactly how he died.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, isn't
He taught me
Bilgar
everything I
the
know.
best guide? You know, because the other guy's dead. Are they
So-
gonna go back and be like, well, this is our third best guide? It's like you got to stop living in the past. These other guides are no longer with us.
Clearly, they weren't good.
It
Let's stop
almost just
comparing.
seems like it's a guy. It's like
Yeah.
this is our second best one.
Will you do it? Will you?
So they run from the sandworm because it's catching up with them. They're like hanging off of a ledge. And this scene was in the promos. This was one of the first clips of the new season that we saw, where they're dangling from Fry, who's holding onto the cliff, and they fall down because his pants fall off because he's not wearing a
Because
belt.
he's a
Fry, couldn't you-
flatty.
And he's a
Fry,
flatty.
couldn't you get a belt or have a more substantial ass? And then Fry goes, "Sorry guys, you know I'm a flatty."
It's so good. Lake like
He's got that-
rewinded it and
Relatable.
played it again.
He's got that GameStop booty.
GameStop booty.
GameStop
that's
booty.
real.
2 flat pancakes.
What is
Mhm.
that? Why are you acting like this is a thing? What is happening?
2 flat pancakes.
Did you meet before the podcast
Hill
and talk about
butt.
this? Well, that is something I've heard of. I've never heard of GameStop booty.
You've never heard of GameStop booty? Those
No.
the people the dudes who work at GameStop they're just a straight up and down line.
Look, I don't want to body shave. If you're
gross
a
generalization.
If you're a flatty, I love you. I've been
wait,
a flatty
Skye's
most
just
of my
a straight
life.
up and down line.
Yeah.
I have a nice little scoop.
Uh,
It's 2 scoops, right? The
of
Raisin
raisins.
Bran.
2 scoops of raisins.
2 scoop Raisin Bran.
oh no.
That California sunshine.
We're getting little flashes back to the life-size people where it's Nibbler and he's becoming kind of like a badly behaved puppy. And he is in his litter box, and just as they're getting to the poop, he goes in there and he's kicking around, and that causes a sandstorm. What do we think
Yup.
about that?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I love how she like huffed the glitter and was like, I see something coming, and it's like already coming.
Yeah.
Like the whole sandstorm was like, oh, that really helped.
it's coming. Everyone says it's coming once they get high on the glitter.
so Nibbler gets a little huff of the glitter himself, and he
Mm.
has a profound vision. He trips out and he sees the whole ecosystem, and we'll learn more about that soon.
So, the war is happening. The worms and the beetles and the crew, they're all fighting. The worms are,
There is a scene where they mourn Nibbler losing his brain. Do you remember this? It was pretty sad, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
That happened
yes.
first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you want to talk about how sad it made you,
It was sad.
Skye?
What? Me?
It was sad.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
When
I
he-
love in general how Futurama randomly like grabs you with these moments where you like
Yeah.
laughing your ass off, and then you're like, oh, and they're
But-
just like,
The episode with the kids, the bog,
Move back to where your
had a lot
mic
of-
is. Your mic sounds weird now. You have to talk into it.
I'm trying to do too many things at once.
Okay, well, how about you stop talking and then we'll get some podcasting done while you're smoking. You fucking drug addict piece of shit.
Nope, I did it.
That is exactly the way you should talk to your mother.
So this, as far as like heart-wrenching scenes on Futurama, this was not, it didn't really tug at my heartstrings that much.
It was just a little.
But you have to think about it. Leela, like, honestly,
they do fight first. Did they fight first? No, they fight after because he.
No, they
he
fight
does fly
first.
down.
They fight first, then
they fight
he
first,
shrinks
and
and he
that's what
flies
causes
down.
them
He
to
comes
and
come
stops
out. Okay,
them.
so
Yeah.
okay. Anyway, they fight. Okay, thank you. So what I was gonna say, like
Fine,
5
Mom was
minutes
right.
ago, was they're having a big war. They're taking on the
Having a big war,
worm.
and it is the worms that we did.
It is the same worms. It doesn't seem like it's the same worms.
I love what
But the
he's
one
like,
big
I am
sandworm.
I am
Look,
the
Skye,
god
describe
emperor
it.
of Doom. And he previously was like the mayor
I am
of
the
Colon.
king of the colon.
Yes.
Lord Mayor of
Cologne.
Cologne.
Cologne. Lord
yeah.
Mayor of Cologne.
State your business.
So
It was so good.
the worms, of course, don't remember Fry because they are a different generation of worms. But Fry remembers them. Finally, they talk about the fact that this is all somewhat happened before. They also are talking about like, oh, you're supposed to make them smart like you did for Fry. So everyone knew the whole time. And Nick, I see why you kind of like it because they took a different route. It's like if they all remember, they might not necessarily be talking about it all the time. That's a thing we're used to from TV because TV has to give the audience exposition in case they don't know what the characters are referencing. Blah, blah, blah. I see it both ways. I'm just glad they didn't go the whole episode pretending like it didn't happen. Because
that would've been
sometimes
awful.
American Dad does that, and that pisses me off. When you get so far into a show, having so many episodes, and then, like, it's fine if you recycle a story or do a callback, but the characters should remember it, right? I hate when they don't reference,
So,
having been through it before.
They have a big fight. Oh, Skye, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I think like occasionally they'll do episodes that are very like insular or whatever, and like they don't really connect everything. But there's usually an overarching like narrative, and they do remember things. So I get your frustration in that. Like,
Because, well, I'm glad.
No, Skye gets to talk. You don't. It's not your birthday.
that was the perfect time for Jinxie to talk.
No, don't like it. Don't like it. So they're having a big fight. They're shooting the ivermectin with their squirt guns, and Leela's getting some kills, but Bender does like a sprinkler thing. It's fun. It reminded me of like Overwatch. they were all doing their ults.
It was pretty absurd.
Yeah. So they have the upper hand for a second, but then the worms, they're taking the power back, and then Nibbler flies down in his little spaceship to break up the fighting. And the shaman shows up with her crew, and she's like, "This is the Messiah from our ancient texts. He had blonde hair and blue eyes in this drawing, but other than that,
But
it's
everything
him."
I
else.
love
that drawing of
That was
Nibbler.
so funny.
That is a great dig at the at Christianity.
Yes.
Not much to be said about that other than great dig.
Yeah, and the drawing of Nibbler looking like white Jesus was pretty funny.
It was so funny.
So he says, break it up. I saw the ecosystem, and these worms have their place within the ecosystem, so we've just got to let them do their thing. And they break up the battle. They fly out of the litter box. They all come out of the little tiny ship, which is pretty
And
funny.
Leela's super sad.
Yeah, Leela's very sad. And this is where they're mourning that his brain's going to go away. And it was pretty sad. But the thing for me is it was a little sadder after this scene, because this whole scene, I was like, this is a fake out. This is a fake out. And then as they were going on with this story, I was like, wait, are they going to commit to this and Nibbler just won't be able to talk anymore? It seemed like a plausible thing that could happen.
I thought, I was ready
And then
to
I did get
accept
sad.
that.
Like almost like they were writing him out of the story.
And I was ready to accept that because, like, there was a time before Nibbler, the show can do without Nibbler, and he could still be there in a different context. I was like ready to accept that, but it was sad. And as far as like character development, you know, what we saw in this episode, I think, was that Leela is able to be a good partner to Fry because she also has her friendship with Nibbler. Like, Fry isn't necessarily, you know, like on the same mental wavelength as Leela. So she needs that like mental companionship somewhere. And we realize in this episode that she gets that from Nibbler. And which I think is also kind of sweet, just kind of like, as far as relationships go, it's like nice to see that they're promoting the idea that you don't have to get all of everything from one
person. I love that. That's a great connection there.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. And this sad scene ends on a funny note because Leela is sobbing while giving Nibbler belly rubs. And it's pretty funny.
But his last line, I can't, Leela, give belly rub.
Oh my god, it was so cute.
It was pretty cute.
I remember he's like, I'll always look back on you with big happy. So good.
Leela is absolutely distraught. Fry says, Leela, I hate seeing you like this. Do you want to blow your nose on my shirt? And she does. And she does seem to feel a little better.
So good.
I think it helped her a little. And in this state of clear mind, she's like, I know what I need. I just need answers. I'm going to go back into the litter box and take the glitter. And I'm going to see what Nibbler saw. And that will help me understand why he allowed this to happen. So they all shrink down and they go back and they see the shaman. And she begs the shaman to like let them use it. And she's like, no, it's not safe. Remember this? Remember? And they literally just get her to submit by Fry singing.
Oh, yeah. He was like, I'll expose you to my terrible breath or something, or my terrible voice.
She says, do you want to be, you could be screwed up for life and spend the rest of your life
tasting colors and smelling sounds.
smelling sounds smelling sounds. And then Bender says something like, Fry always stinks up our apartment with his singing. And then Fry starts singing, and that tortures the shaman. Okay.
Yeah. So that was like, a very deep joke. That was much smarter than me. So the Leela does go in. She has her vision, and she realizes what Nibbler got wrong. She sort of calls a meeting of the worms and the beetles, and they talk about the fact that Nibbler missed a very important thing. Something is screwing up the ecosystem because there's sub-parasites on the parasites. The worms have parasites, and it's the little crabbies.
There's too many levels.
The little mites that we saw before.
And then Zoidberg is also there, and he's like,
down.
I love that.
Hi, guys. I stayed normal size, so when you shrunk down again, I got even smaller. I know you've probably been worried sick about me.
Yeah, that's very funny. So this is the explanation for why the worms were making Nibbler stupid instead of smart. They get rid of the mites simply by stepping on them, which...
But I love the line that precedes it, which is like, but don't the mites play a part in the ecosystem too? And Leela says, well, you have to draw the line somewhere.
That's just it. And then they just go with that. No questions.
So they step on the mites. Nibbler had a tap dancing thing earlier. He brings out his tap dancing shoes again and does a dance with the shaman lady.
Or Bender, and yeah.
They did a good little dance.
Did Nibbler tap dance too?
I don't think Nibbler tap danced.
No, just Bender. Oh, yes.
Bender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what?
They kill all the mites, and then everything's sort of back to normal. We're back in the big-sized world, and Nibbler is chewing on a Bart Simpson doll. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Wait, I want to go back. There was one thing. When they were doing the tap dancing, Bender crushes Zoidberg, and there was a brief moment where I thought they were just going to leave it at that.
Like he's just dead.
They just, like, stomped him to death.
That's the end of Zoidberg. Can I say, since we have a fan of the show here, like, this is a good time to bring this up. I sort of appreciated, I believe it's the second to last episode of the previous run, the episode where Zoidberg ends up with a girlfriend. And I kind of like that after them shitting on him for, 10 seasons, he got a win.
Girlfriend's going to make an appearance.
I would like her to come back, and he can still get shit on at the office, but I like the idea of him going home to, like, a surprisingly nice life or something. And
having
this girl
some
also loves living in dumpsters.
in his life.
Yeah.
Nobody ever cares.
Like Jerry. Like Jerry gets
Jerry.
shit on at the office, but then he goes home to his movie
Lovely
star model-esque wife. And
Zoidberg does deserve that.
Do you think Zoidberg has the biggest penis that you've ever seen?
Girl, you know it. But it's always rock hard and pointy. It's probably pronged.
Spiked, yeah.
It's like,
it has spikes.
It's spiked for sure. And it's the reverse kind, so that he can't pull out.
Okay.
So this is pretty much the end of the episode. The plan worked. Nibbler is smart again. And he goes
he makes a phone call to
the Council of Nibbler
Homeland.
Gives a long speech about how beautiful all life is, and now he's able to stay on Earth and continue to witness things and blah blah blah. And he'll report his findings.
Like, yeah.
No, the council goes, good. And then
that's it. And they're just like, cool. Yeah.
Good. Done.
It was so stupid.
I was a little high when I was watching this, so I was like, is that the hidden
surprise?
That
was it?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe, like...
I was also like, hidden story.
It just seemed it seemed like Nibbler had some, like, hidden motive, and I was too high to understand.
If that Chiron was referring to this... No, I think it's referring to something bigger. I'm pretty sure it's about the weird noises. And there's gonna be something that, like... I don't know. Maybe it's the penultimate episode. Maybe it's the finale episode.
Skye, you are good at mixing sounds together. Can you take the audio from the beginning of all these episodes and put them together? Maybe it'll tell us something.
I mean, I like this theory.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Do we do it now?
Yes.
Did we do it?
Yes.
Wait, was that it?
No,
let me ask you something.
We need a clean one. I'm going to do it again.
Hey, let me ask you something.
You just have to use that one. Go. Just go.
Skye.
Wow, that was...
you probably already know, but we have compulsory questions we ask every guest. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory, so we're just going to glaze over them.
They're all self-explanatory.
Not all of them.
What are complicated about these 3 questions?
Well, we know that Skye's a super fan, so Skye will be watching more, I'm sure. We don't have to ask that question.
Well, then don't ask it. That's not complicated. It's not.
I'm actually done. I think I don't like the show anymore.
I think we ruined it for you. Skye.
This whole experience has been a travesty.
Of all the Futurama characters, who do you identify with the most?
Honestly, as we were just talking about him, Zoidberg has always been like a huge favorite of mine. Because he's just
Do you identify with Zoidberg?
I don't know if I definitely identify with him, but I just love how like weird and like stupid and misunderstood he is.
You know what's funny is you like talk about yourself like you're a Zoidberg. I've noticed this being your friend. You are this gorgeous, stunning creature. You put all this effort into your hair color, your body jewelry, your body modifications, your tattoos, and then you talk about yourself like you're a pile of filth. It's like you put all this work in and then turn around. It's the least Leo thing about you is the fact that, like, you are just, like, so... Unless it's all a grand...
It's all a ruse.
You're like an Amy or, like, a Barbados Slim, perhaps.
Oh, my God. So
just
Kif,
tall and
then?
skinny.
Am I Kif?
You're not Kif. I think you're an Amy.
Oh.
You're an
No,
Amy.
that actually makes a lot of sense.
You're an Amy with a Barbados Slim rising.
Or Slurm Mackenzie.
I could actually see Slur Mackenzie.
Wham wham wazzle.
That's actually pretty close.
Okay.
I think that's the natural point between
Amy
Zoidberg and Amy is Slurms Mackenzie.
Oh, right. So we've answered that question. Now,
That just raises further questions.
Skye, who would you do?
Oh my God.
Did you say oh my at the same time as he did in the pot?
No.
Oh
I
my.
said oh my also.
Oh my God, what is his name? I was just watching the episode over again because I love it. Baghead. The ego.
Langdon Cobb.
The actor.
Langdon Cobb. But you can never look at his face. Is that a
But
problem?
his ego
That's-
monster.
Oh.
You want to have sex with his ego monster.
The sort of Cthulhu eldritch horror that is his ego.
Just want to be inside of it, you know?
Your
Put the bag
soul?
over the head.
I mean, life force? Life force. It's science.
Wait, who are you having sex with? Are you having
say that
sex with
talent
Langdon
isn't.
Cobb or his ego monster?
Three-way, baby.
Well, so they say that talent isn't sexually transmissible, but maybe if you're fucking their ego monster, it is.
So you want to have some freaky anime grade
Tentacle porn, yeah.
Tentacle porn, yes.
Yeah.
Three-way with okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks
That's
for
all.
That's my
ending
best
on a
answer.
really uncomfortable no. Skye,
You're welcome.
where can our listeners find you? So lately, Fruit Boy, all your endeavors. When's the OnlyFans?
Oh my God. We'll get to it eventually when I have nothing
You've
left
been
to
saying that
lose.
for years.
What would my fans think? My tens of fans.
Oh, hush. You think you're not going to get more fans with OnlyFans? DJ Naked. It'll be a
my God.
revolution.
There's a gimmick. You can find me on Instagram, obviously, Fruitboy, FRUT.BOI. You can find all of my links via that. You can go to solatelymusic.com. I will be doing a show in September at No Fun Bar, September 28th. It'll be lots of fun doing an actual live performance.
I think it will be no fun.
It will be no fun at No Fun
I'm getting
Bar.
mixed signals here.
I was just staying by No Fun Bar last time I was there, remember?
Yeah, it's a cool little spot. I'll be performing with my
enjoy
friends Taj Church and Kemi. It'll be a varied electronic performances. It'll be a lot of fun. And then I will be DJing with Burning Man Pink Ponies soon, hopefully. And I might even be going to SLC to perform, but I haven't figured that one out yet.
And that is Salt Lake City, for those of you.
Yes. I can't confirm it yet, but I'm supposed to open for
Skye.
somebody.
Thank you so much.
The perfect time. Skye.
Skye died on his
Skye's gone.
birthday.
Did I disappear?
Well,
Anyway.
I feel like
The
we said
episode's
goodbye.
pretty
Am I
pretty
still
well.
there by
Yeah.
sound?
I think that's it.
Skye and all listeners, Skye is a musician in Portland, but as you heard, he's also gonna be on at SLC. We would have heard more about that, but anyway, follow at Fruit Boy on Instagram. Follow all Skye's endeavors. Wishing him a very happy birthday.
We already signed
Hello.
off. You don't get to
We
be on the episode anymore.
My internet just dropped out
The
of nowhere.
ceremony's over. I live here, but you don't have to talk to me anymore. Skye, we're wishing you a very happy birthday. We want all our listeners to get into it, get into your music, get into it.
Get into it. It's fun. I like to throw a party.
Yay. Everyone go follow Skye. That's the end of the episode for real. Say bye, Skye, since you came back.
Bye, Skye.
Now,
No, we're done.
no,
We're done.
I have to sign off. Now, we will see you next Monday with a brand new episode of I'm 40% podcast. Until then, have a futuristic day, everyone.
Woo!
Woo!
Wow.